Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Bruce and today I want to showcase the Sherman Firefly VC. Is this tank a decent premium tank? Let's find out in this video. If you take a look at this tank, you might think, well, it's just another Sherman tank. But this is not true. So what is the difference about this tank and how does it compare to its brothers on tier 6? So let's compare the Firefly VC against its premium brothers on tier 6. So against the M4A376W, basically a copy of the EZ8. Same as the Fury, but the Fury is slightly worse when it comes to gun handling, but later on more to this. And then to the Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt actually has more armor than all the other Shermans. Then there's the Lotus M4A2, the Soviet tier 6 Sherman tank. And then we have the tier 6 French Sherman, which is the M4A1 FL10, which has an autoloader gun. So DPM wise, this tank is slightly worse than most of the other tanks except for the Thunderbolt and the M4. However, this tank has an autoloader, but the penetration value and the firepower is what really sets this tank apart. So this tank has the 17-pounder gun, giving it 171 millimeters of penetration, which is much better than all the other Sherman tanks. It has also 150 damage, which is once again much better than compared to all the other tanks. So the firepower is way better than compared to the regular Shermans. Of course, the FL10 does have a good firepower due to its 4-shot autoloader clip with a total of 540 damage within 5.25 seconds. The gun handling is also pretty decent. 2.01 aim time is fine, although not the best value in class. 0.35 dispersion actually is the best value, and 0.18 dispersion while moving and while tank traverse is actually on the good side. Only the M4A376W is better. This tank can go forward only with 40.2 kph, so it's the slowest one in class. However, yeah, power to weight ratio wise, it's not the worst one. However, it's amongst the worst ones in the game. As the other Shermans, this tank also does not have armor. The only tank that actually has armor is the Thunderbolt with 123 millimeters of upper hull armor. However, the turret is as weak as all the other Sherman tanks. This actually has the best turret, although 76 millimeters of turret armor will not prevent you to receive damage. Now, camo wise, this tank is actually the best one of all those Shermans, although 12.54 it's a decent value. It's not the best value of any medium tanks. And then as all the other Shermans, this tank has 730 meters of view range. So all in all, I think apart from the fact that the M4A1 FL10 has an autoloader gun, this tank actually has the best firepower of all those Sherman tanks. So can we make this tank work? Let's find out with some gameplay. Okay, so let's see whether we can make the Sherman Firefly work. As I said, the great advantage of this tank is its firepower and especially its superior penetration value. So let's see what we can achieve. Now, this comes to a price, and this is mainly the flexibility. And here I'm talking about only 6 degrees of gun depression. Now, 6 degrees is not the worst value, however, it's really limiting this tank, so that's just how it is. Okay, so we have 3 light tanks in the game. We have 3 arties, so let's see what we can do. Now, I like to go to the middle. The question is, can we go there without getting punished very early in the game, because this tank is not the fastest one as all the Sherman tanks in the game. But you know what? I want to go to the middle simply because I want to use my awesome gun in order to give the heavy lane fire support should they need it. So this is now a danger zone. And alright, looks like the VK already managed to push into this position. Nice, we bounced the shot, that's good. So we will keep those tanks spotted, that's for sure. The question is, will we be successful with holding this position against the enemy team? Nice, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I do not want to push the WoT, but of course we want to play aggressively because, I mean, after all, we're dealing with some low tier tanks. I think from this position I actually cannot take a shot onto this tank, and I think pushing in was not the right decision. Okay, can take out this tank, but he's now taken out. Okay, so let's simply maintain this position right here and let's take a shot onto the tiger. That's what I want to do. This is why I want to play this position. And you know what, let's evade out of the situation because I do not want to end up in a crossfire situation. Now I'm really struggling in this situation, as you can see, with my 6 degrees of gun depression. So once again, that's the drawback of this tank. So that's just how it is. Of course, I'm constantly proxy spotted, so this is what I need to keep in mind. And so far so good. Looks like our team is kind of winning. The heavy lane. So let's see how it goes. I'm a little bit afraid of the WZ-131, a tank which is a... yeah. Which is a light medium hybrid. Okay, bounce this shot, fortunately. Nice, that's excellent. And now... nice, that's what I want to see. Perfect. And so now, let's advance. Game is on the winning side. So let's push a little bit more aggressively towards the remaining enemy positions. So let's see, can we make more damage? Where are the remaining TDs in the game? They are most likely in those typical TD positions, so... we need to watch out. There you go. Can take 3 shots, but then we have to fall back into cover because then this tank has reloaded, and that gives him the chance of taking a shot. There you go. He's once again fallen back. There you go, another shot. He's taken another shot. There you go, and should be tracked. And we can take him out. Excellent. Okay, perfect. We can even, you know, easily pen the M6. with our phenomenal pen. Okay, this is a pixel shot. Okay, another pixel shot. And we do not manage to hit this tank. Okay, but fine. We made 1,800 damage, which is excellent if you ask me. And kill shot right here. No. So let's simply move into the cap. So I think in this game we made the gun work. 3 kills, 1.8k damage is a decent result in the Sherman Firefly. And I think the 3.7 second reload time is very strong. And sometimes it's even an advantage to have a lower alpha damage and a better reload time. Because then you can, you know, punch out 2 or 3 shots compared to an adversary tank which only shoots once. So let's apply the bonus. Nice. And overall, top on XP, which is nice. And then with a great team, if you can manage to deal more than 1000 damage in a tier 6 tank, this is a great result. All right, so let's jump into the next game. So let's see what we get. El Alouf, tier 7, actually tier 8 game. But once again, in the Sherman Firefly, this is not too much of a problem simply because you have this wonderful penetration value of 171 on the standard ammunition and even 239 on the premium ammunition, which is once again excellent for tier 6 tanks. So let's see how it goes. Now, due to my lack of gun depression, I do not want to play in the north because I like to go here with the medium tank. However, I do not have enough gun depression to play here, and I do not want to play here because there's no safe space where I can position my tank. There's no cover basically, and so in this situation I want to play simply passively, remain at the rear of the map and see whether our team spots one or another tank. Now the problem is that we do not have any light tank in the game whatsoever, and so we'll see how it goes. Chances are that simply no tank will be spotted, so let's see. Let's knock down this tree early enough. And actually it's completely useless, as you can see. It's completely useless, which is fine. So let's simply stay here and play cautiously and simply wait until one or another tank is spotted. Of course, no tank is proceeding to the middle. You know, if I was playing a Cromwell, for example, I would take over the medium light hybrid role and I would try to spot for my team. The problem with the Sherman Firefly is that this tank is not flexible enough when it comes to mobility. It's simply not mobile enough. Unfortunately. Ooh, I'm spotted. Of course I'm spotted. I should fall back into cover. Let's see. I always want to lobster eye the minimap and see what is going on the heavy lane, because this tells me whether I need to fall back or not. Our Hellcat is making pressure, which is nice. So eventually he might be able to spot one or another tank. And the good thing about the adversary object 16AG is he is a top tier medium tank, but he's not entangled in the fight in the north, which is good for our team because that's one very strong tank less in the north that our team has to worry about. After all, it's a top tier tank, so of course he's superior. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? That's what I want to see. Unfortunately, he manages to repair his tank. But that is fine. Let's be fully aimed in when he peeks out of cover. Looks like our team is making pressure in the north. We'll see how it goes. If our team is winning the northern portion, then we need to eventually advance in order to make some more damage. If the adversary team can hold the flank and can re-push this side, then maybe I should position my tank right here. Here you go, nice. Oh, okay. So I think he will not have a chance to fall back any further, because so how can I advance? Let's take shots onto this Panther. Ah, okay. That one didn't go through. Maybe this one. And unfortunately, I bounced my shots. This one connected. Okay. Of course, those are shots over a very long distance. And we are, after all, playing a tier 6 tank, not a tier 10 tank. So that's what we have to keep in mind. The game is won. And now, as I maintained in my position, of course, there's now damage that I miss at the end of the game, which is fine. Because, I mean, after all, I think I could make 1 or 2 blind shots. So let's see what we get. After all, a tier 8 match. So, of course, not the best matchmaking for this tank. And so I'm quite happy with only, let's say, 600 to 700 damage in this game. So let's simply take a look at the result and see what we get. By the way, I like the style of the Sherman Firefly VC. I think it's a very nicely looking tank. So let's see what we get. By the way, when it comes to view range, all the Shermans have the exact same view range of 370 meters. So, yeah, 1 blind shot, 732 damage. Of course, this is the game of the top tier tanks, which is understandable and which is nice. But let's see what we get in another game. So once again, all in all, Sherman Firefly VC. Can I recommend this tank? Well, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's a fun tank. It's, I would say on the good side, it's not, you know, an ultra strong tank, because the mobility limits this tank, the lack of armor limits this tank, and also the lack of gun depression limits this tank. But then you get this very strong tank, this very strong gun with superb penetration, which lets you be flexible, and which kind of, you know, in this tank you do not have to spam gold whatsoever because of your fantastic penetration. And even if you are in a tier 8 match, and if you want to even pen, you know, tier 8 tanks frontally, let's say tier 8 heavy tanks frontally, you can simply switch to your premium ammunition and then use your 239 millimeters of pen. And so this then even works out if you are in a low tier situation. So I think this tank is fine, it's great, it's fun to play, and it has a really nice gun that you can use. So all in all, I think I can really recommend this tank. If you like to play mediums, if you are happy with the, let's say, reduced mobility, then this is the tank to go, absolutely. and it can be really fun, as you saw in the first game. Alright, so on this map I want to go to this position right here, and I want to shoot this truck in order to get a free vision onto this position. That's exactly what I want to see. Move out of cover, please. Okay, looks like the tiger is in the city, the Chiri is in the city, maybe. And that's about it. Crocodile and maybe KV2. I think it's a bit too... No, okay. Object 244 is pushing aggressively, T20 is pushing aggressively, Sherman is pushing aggressively, so we need to also advance in order to get our damage. Where's the enemy team? Now the question is, how aggressively can we push? Ah, there's a house in the way. That's not what I want to see, so... Yeah. So you know what? Let's push in aggressively. Hopefully it works out. MX has relocated, which is understandable, but now we can open up crossfire situation against the crocodile. And that's exactly what we want to see. So let's see. We want to continue to be on the low ground. Now the enemy team has managed to win this side of the map, which is... Here you go. As you can see, 6 degrees of gun depression is not enough for this tank. It's simply lackluster, and it is way too less flexible. Sorry bro, but please do not block me. Do not block me. I do not like tanks which are blocking me. I do not like tanks which are blocking me. Look at this player. Dude, do not simply block me out and then go to this position in which I wanted to play. You know what? I do not like those kind of tanks, to be quite honest. Is there something we can do to... I think maybe we can help the T20 in getting one or another shot onto this. Here you go. No, we will lose this game, but it's a very fast game. There's nothing to worry about. It's all good. Maybe one last shot onto this tank. No, doesn't look like, which is fine. In the end, we had a very good game in the beginning. This is what happens nowadays in World of Tanks, games that are over very, very fast. All in all, once again, I can really recommend the Sherman Firefly VC. It's a fun tank and I really like it. So let's take a look at the result. Of course, not a very decent game. That's just how it is. However, we are in the middle of our team, which is fine. And then, of course, the chopper really ruled in this game alongside with the WoT. Alright, so that's it about the Sherman Firefly VC. Alright guys, that was it for today with the video about the Sherman Firefly VC. What do you think about this tank? Do you agree that this is the best Sherman on tier 6? Or do you prefer any of its American brothers? Just leave a comment in the comment section down below. And as always, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. This really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. If you find this video extremely helpful, then feel free to support me via Super Thanks. This way you can make a one-time donation. You just have to click this button underneath the video. If you adore this channel and you want to consistently support me, then consider subscribing to my channel or become a member, once again with the click of a button underneath the video. Thanks a lot, and I see you next time in another World of Tanks video.